Yeah, yeah. GTS push, no I'm pushing. Got champagne for that nigga in the morning. Fuck you saying how it look, do you want it? Say what you want, fuck nigga, don't be boring. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. GTS push, no I'm pushing. Got champagne for that nigga in the morning. Fuck you saying how it look, do you want it? Say what you want, fuck nigga, don't be boring. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to Exactly Season 2. And I have a very, very, very special guest. I don't know if everybody's been tuned in. I know I have, and most of the world has as well. So I don't even know why I had to say that. But we have my girl, the motion, the madness, the prize, I must say, myself. We have Aria from Ultimatum Season 3 on Netflix. Give her a nice warm welcome.
I'm happy to be here.
Yes, I'm so happy that you came. I'm a huge fan of Ultimatum. I've watched Ultimatum, like the original Best Ultimatum, and I've also watched the queer version.
Okay, yeah. So you've been in it.
Oh, I'm in it.
Okay.
I am in it. Now, I'm very upset that they didn't give the queer
Another
version.
chance.
Yeah, it was good.
I think it's good to have that representation also because there's just not a lot of queer, I would say, dating shows, to be honest.
No.
A lot of heterosexual. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't know what happened there.
I know. It's sad. But I am happy that you're here. Your season was really good. Very, very juicy. I have a lot of things to get into. But I do mostly want to talk about postseason. So I do want to start off with just simply asking you, girl, how you been?
I've been good now. I feel like when my show first came out, it was a lot because I feel like we actually got a year to kind of like heal from the experience or kind of figure out what was going on.
Is this after filming or
after filming?
Oh wow.
And then the show comes out a year later.
Oh wow.
So I feel like it was just interesting because it's like you kind of recollect like what happened or what was going on in your mind during that time, and then we were actually able to watch it before the audience did. So we got to do it, and that was because they wanted us to watch everything before our reunion, so we got to see it before everybody else did.
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
The edits that you guys watch before the audience, is it the same exact thing that we watch, or is it a little bit more, a little bit less?
It is, yeah. It's the same. It's the same, at least for like our season. I've heard, in other shows like with the Ultimatum, I don't know like which seasons or anything, but I've heard, that hasn't been the same. Like they watched one version and then it was different.
Oh wow.
So with ours though, it was the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I wouldn't want to be bamboozled like that. Like thinking it's going to be this way and then you watch it with the public and you're like, oh, okay.
And see, as a viewer, as like an actual fan and an audience member and a person who also be in the comments and, reading everything and reading the vlogs and everything, or the blogs, I feel like we always I think over time, as a person who watches reality TV, we've kind of become aware of how producers move and how the network actually and I'm not trying to bash the network. I love Netflix, please. Like, keep my premium account going. Yeah. But it's just we've kind of become like privy to how they move and how they kind of can like manipulate the situations, which I hope that they wouldn't too much. But I get it as well. Like, you want to have a good TV show and you kind of want to like, get the people on the show to have like real emotions and raw emotions. So I feel like they're kind of guiding the narratives. But I feel like as an audience member, we watch the show and we're just like, what did the producer tell you to say? Like, what did like we're always kind of going after them. But I do feel like with shows like The Ultimatum and like Love is Blind and all these shows, I feel like it is real. Like real emotions, real situations for the most part.
It's
so
real emotions. Like, I'm a very sensitive person.
Exactly.
I know that.
What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Taurus.
Oh, okay.
And then Sag are my other two.
Okay.
But I feel like, that isn't manipulated, the way you feel and how. And honestly, anytime you are emotional in any way, they want to get that on camera.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? And
Exactly.
it's reality TV. You want it to be like, if everybody was kumbaya the whole time, it'd be very boring. No one's trying to watch that.
No.
So, yeah, no, I definitely would say that, yeah, there was definitely edits in it, but they never made us say anything, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe they would ask you certain questions to get you to say maybe something they wanted to hear, but they're never going to force you to say anything.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. If I had a TV show, I'd do the same thing. I'd be like, okay, girl, I know you told me this on text, but can you say it again for the camera?
Exactly. It'll be something like, you said something, oh, this other day, can we bring that back, talk about it again, so then we can get it on camera?
Yeah.
So, yeah, for sure, it's like that.
Okay. So I do want to ask you first, what was the most surprising thing that you learned from yourself year later? You have already filmed the show. You've already went through what you went through in real time.
Yeah.
They, make their edits. The show is about to come out. Whatever you're about to see is what it's about to be for the whole world.
Yeah.
What is the most surprising thing that you've learned after viewing yourself on the show?
Honestly, I think the biggest thing I learned about myself is I felt like before I watched, because no one gets the chance to watch yourself in like third person when you're like arguing with like a significant other.
Yep.
And I think something I used to like internalize with myself was like, oh, you're so emotional. Like you literally never know how to you don't know how to hone down on your emotions. Your emotions are volatile. But when I actually watched myself back, I was like, you're so composed actually. Like, yes, you're crying, but you literally have facts and you're very intentional with your words when you're explaining things because you're wanting this other person to understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I felt like we were just speaking two different languages.
Yeah.
But so I think that was the thing that surprised me. It was like, okay, like, you're actually, yes, you're an emotional person, but it was never, like, unwarranted.
Right. Yeah. I feel like that about you, too. Like, I feel like you held you stood your ground, you held your own, and you were very poised, you didn't represent yourself in a way that I feel like was like, ooh, like, cringe at all.
It's funny, though, because I wouldn't, like, if I had to describe myself in a word, poised is not one of them. Like,
really?
I would not describe myself as that. Like, I'm clumsy. I feel like, I honestly think something that I was able to grow from the show was being more sure of myself. Like, being more in tune with my own intuition and how I feel within myself. And honestly, like, the person that I went on the show with, I have no bad blood with him. Like, I honestly think he's a good person. I just think that sometimes when you're not able to regulate your own, like, emotions or even insecurities, they come out in a very just ugly ways where you hurt the person that you care about most.
Yeah.
And so that's literally what I think was shown, like, in that show.
Yes, he was definitely giving insecure to me. Are y'all still cool? Are y'all like
we're cordial? Like,
okay.
It's not like we're gonna be like best friends. Or,
yeah, of
you
course.
Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I now live in LA and he lives in LA. So it's like we do see each other at some events and stuff, but no, like, there's no bad blood, like, at all. Like, I honestly wish him well. I just feel like for us, the best would be not to be together, just because I feel like we were it was just always just argumentative, and really a relationship. Yes, there's arguments.
Right.
There should be a solution at the end. Like, you're not fighting against each other. You're fighting for each other. And I just felt like it was always against.
I agree. I do want to get into him, obviously, just for a little bit, because this is about you.
Okay.
But, first I want to ask, just for myself, what is his zodiac sign?
He's a Virgo.
Oh.
But they're supposed to be good matches, I guess. Like
Earth and Earth.
Yeah, it's
right.
supposed to be good,
but they have this thing where it's like they see perfection as like
analytical for sure.
Oh my God. And that's probably why y'all argued so much.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense. He looked like a Virgo now that I think about it.
And that was my only Virgo I've ever experienced. So I
really?
don't even have an opinion on Virgo. But it's funny because every time I say that, people are like, oh.
It makes so much sense. Okay, so his energy to me on the show, when it came to you, it did seem, even when we first got introduced to you guys, it did seem like he was a very, like, back and forth type guy. Like, if you say, like, oh, it's gonna be cold today, he's just like, oh, really? Is it gonna be cold? Like, why do you think it's gonna be cold? Because you only see the cloud. Like, he just seems like he likes to argue, right? I don't know. I've never met him a day of my life.
Yeah. So I will say, like, the show did not put him in a good light at all. And I know he regrets the way he acted on there.
Right.
I think truly there was insecurities, which all of us had. Like, you can't tell me that you are actually in a real relationship with someone and you don't care that they're living with someone for 3 weeks.
Exactly.
Like, there's just no way.
Yeah.
So I think, honestly, it's like a pressure cooker because it's like all of your emotions and you're navigating it really by yourself while on camera. And then when it gets, and then like you're having these moments of weaknesses where maybe you have these like blurts of emotions or reactions and it makes you look insane or crazy. But in reality, it's just coming from a place like where it's like because you love someone, but instead of like sharing your insecurities, you're attacking them in ways. So that's why I think he looks so argumentative. He's not argumentative like that all the time, but I just feel like on the show it showed only the worst parts.
It did.
I mean, we definitely had good parts, but it's like that would have made, you know, good reality TV. And for sure we had, you know, conflicts, and that's why it was, you know, we were able to show so much of those conflicts. So yeah, no, I would say that sometimes I think he has a hard time saying when he's wrong. And I think that was our, you know, because I feel like it was something that I said multiple times on the show is like, hey, you have a hard time taking accountability. I feel like I tell you how you've hurt me and it takes him like 3 to 4 business days to apologize. I don't know if he does that anymore, but like after a while you're with someone for so long, it starts to feel like this person does not care about me. Like, and so that's kind of what happened.
That's what I want to ask you. How was it in the beginning when you first met him, like the infatuation stage? What was that like with him?
Like, it was honestly, like, I think that's why I think it's really interesting when people are like, you know, I'm reading comments too, right?
Yeah.
And I'm seeing people being like, oh my God, like, I just don't understand how he bagged her. How did that happen? Like, and I was like, honestly, he was so intentional with me. And I also was very young. Like, I was 21 and he was 25 at the time. And then he just put in a lot of effort. Like, I would fly. I actually lived in Arizona at the time. I'd fly to LA.
All the baddies live in Arizona. Hold up. Yeah.
Okay. And so I would fly out. He'd like make a whole weekend for us, and it was just very intentional about how he like wanted to pursue me. And I think at that time too, I was young and like haven't been pursued like that before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
he was giving man.
Yeah. And I had college guys. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So no one's like, you know, people are taking us to like, what is it, like In-N-Out or something?
Exactly.
You know, like we're not going on.
And
like,
they're gonna be In-N-Out.
Yeah, like, you know, nice dinners and like someone's actually talking about their emotions. We're actually getting deep. Like I've never had, like I didn't have that type of depth where we were able to talk about like our childhoods and how that's impacted us. So I feel like for me, I was definitely emotionally connected to him, and so I think that's where it was. Like that's why it was so strong in the beginning, and then after a while, I think, you know, the things that maybe you haven't dealt with by yourself or even actually like looking introspectively within yourself, like, you know, I think something I've always like paid attention to, especially like now, like I've dated now after, and I feel like it's really important to see if a person can reflect on how they could have been better in their relationship. I think you know, there's things I could have definitely done better too. And I think it's, you know, it would not be self-serving if someone goes, yeah, I was in that relationship, they were crazy. That's it.
Yeah.
And like, they don't explain anything else on how they could have been better.
Exactly.
So it's just, the beginning was definitely different. And that's why I think, you know, you want to hold on to something because you're like, well, I know we can be good. We've been good before. You know? Yeah. That's
beautiful. I'm in a new relationship. Okay, so I'm asking these questions because I'm just trying to see, you know, like what to look forward to, because I feel like with my boyfriend, we just became boyfriend and girlfriend in November, but we met in May. Okay. And he's like perfect right now. Yeah. Like I don't expect anything to change. For you and Scotty, what was the changing point that drew you guys to have the energy that you guys had with each other on the show, that you think from your side?
If I'm going to be honest, like I truly feel like something that I lacked in that relationship, and I don't care to have it in any other relationship I continue on having, is I did not get reassurance in that relationship. And people are really surprised because they're like, oh, he was the one that gave the ultimatum. Right. But he he talked about marriage, but not in a way where it was like something he wanted to do. It wasn't like he was like, oh, I can't wait to have, kids with you. I can't wait to marry you. It was just talking about how he wants to be married. So I never felt the reassurance that he wanted to be with me.
Yeah.
And then honestly, we got reached out by a recruiter. Like someone reached out to me. I was not a social media girly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'm supposed to say that. Hopefully, I don't know. They found me on Instagram through a rabbit hole is what the lady was saying, and she was telling me how she was like, hey, I don't know if you guys you're interested, but I think you're in a relationship, and then I sent it to him being like, I thought one of my friends knew we were having problems and like told their producer
secretly,
or
yeah.
And so I was kind of mad about this because I was like, is someone sharing my business? Like,
I would have too. That's too much of a coincidence.
And I saw like one of my friends following her too. So I was like, what is this? And I ended up messaging her. I sent this to him being like, wow, like what is this? And he saw it as like a way of being like, oh, I feel like this could potentially be good. Like I watched some of the show and it looks like he was talking about the second season. I don't know if he watched the first, but the second one, like everybody got married, right?
Oh yeah, I watched all 3.
Yeah, everybody got married. So he was like, I feel like this could bring us closer. Maybe there's something that he was like, something's like maybe we're not sure and we're hesitating in some ways. And I was hesitant. I'm not gonna lie. Like I loved him so much, but like, and I mean, love evolves, right? So I still have love for him, but the thing is that I was more so like, I was like, okay, yes, we have issues, but can't we like go to therapy for this? Like, do we need to do this?
Exactly. We could fix it.
But then a part of me was like, no, you know what? I honestly, okay, like if he thinks that this would be beneficial, okay, let's try it. But I will say like, I will not bite the hand that fed me because I've had a lot of opportunities after getting, doing the show. But I will say that like, was it something that I needed to do to figure out the relationship? No, I didn't need to do that. Like, I think that we could have figured it out in a different way, but I do think that doing this made me really just honestly see myself in such a different light. Like, I was able to be more sure of myself. So that is something that I'm blessed that I did. Like, I think I got asked so many times, do you regret doing it? Do you feel like this ruined your relationship? I think we would have ruined our relationship because we didn't know how to communicate.
Exactly.
It didn't matter about the show.
Exactly.
But people will blame a show,
No, like, and this is no shade at all, but I definitely felt the same way. Like, if you guys reminded me of a situation, a relationship I was in a long time ago in college, multiple relationships that I've seen through friends, and it did seem like eventually there will be a breaking point with you guys. I felt like you guys had a lot of love, but it just felt like there was something there. And then how quick he was ready to jump to Zania.
Yeah, we're actually cool now, so I have no shade or anything.
No shade to Zaina at all.
No, I have
y'all two were, T.
Yeah, no, I love Zaina. But I think that was really hard for me, to be honest, because I think
it would have been hard for me too.
I lacked reassurance in that relationship, and then you get into and I find myself a very confident person. Like, I know what I bring to the table. And it's not even about like beauty or anything like that. It's really about like who I am as a person, how I nurture a person in a relationship, how I know I cultivate a relationship, and so I came there very sure, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, he having fun. Like, this is like, oh, he's like, I was like, does he even miss me? Like,
exactly.
I really felt like that.
Yeah.
And so like, out of, it's so normal for, I'm sure all of us, if you asked any of us, like, did we feel insecure at one point? The answer will be yes. It doesn't matter what anybody looked like, but it didn't help that all the women were beautiful. Like,
exactly.
Everybody was beautiful.
Yes.
And so I feel like, and had good personalities. Like,
yes.
Everybody could, chop it up. Like, I was thinking, like, when they were telling me most of everybody was from LA, I'm like, oh, it's going to be like Valley Girl. And like, I was just like, oh, I have nothing to worry about.
Right.
And I sat down, I'm like, oh, I got something to worry about. Like, so I was definitely like saddened by that.
Yeah.
And it definitely made me like be like, dang, like I'm not gonna lie, seeing how fast and how it looked like he was enjoying himself so much, it turned me off.
Yeah,
because I was just like, I don't want my man, like, I don't want a man that
easy
says that he loves me,
right? Like,
he just seems like he's super easy to like jump,
Yeah.
Yes, he didn't cheat on me, like in that, because he knows I would have left. Like, yes, I ended up leaving, but like I would have like, it would have been like no finish show. Like, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
like, you're gonna embarrass me.
Exactly. Especially when you didn't even like really think about going on the show
Yeah.
initially.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, and my thing is with men that I've realized is it's not about a man having a type. I think everybody has a type to a certain extent, whether it's physical or like a type of personality or whatever. But if I see my man flirting or having too much fun with a girl who I even think could possibly be close to who I am, like personality or how they look or whatever.
I already knew at the table
Yeah,
who he was going
yeah,
for.
yeah.
I
It's like
already
you
knew.
could
There
peep
was, like,
it.
I already knew.
Mm-hmm.
I already knew Chanel was on there. I already knew Zaina was, and those were his top two. I already knew. I didn't even have to ask.
Exactly.
I wasn't going to. I'm just gonna hurt my feelings.
Exactly.
You know. So yeah, I already knew.
Yeah.
And it really is more so like it's not even about the women. Like
Right.
it's really just like, okay, like does this person, see what we have, and are they gonna forget about that, And I think honestly, even on my part, I didn't. I honestly thought I was going to be just sat bored. Like, I wasn't interested in anybody. Like, I obviously had a connection with Caleb and JR. But I honestly remember going on our dates. And I remember Caleb, I was like, oh, like, he's kind of boring. Like, I remember on our dates at least. And I think it was just because he was wanting to make sure he wasn't coming off too flirtatious. And it was because I knew that he had in the back of his head, he was thinking about his partner.
Exactly.
And so he just wanted to make sure he was respectful and that there was not going to be any issues. And I understood that. But I feel like on our dates, it was boring. And then with JR, I felt like our dates were fun in the beginning and they didn't show. We went on 3 dates, but the 2 dates, they were fun. I feel like we were actually talking deeply and things. But then the 3rd day is where I was like, I feel like I'm just going to have to exert my boundaries a little too much with you. And I remember asking him, being like, how are you comfortable with me, like, you sleeping on the couch and things like that.
Yep.
And I remember he was just like, well, hopefully you'll change your mind eventually or stuff like that. And I've actually never lived with a man before that experience.
Right.
So I was like, I don't really want to be uncomfortable where I'm going to have to tell somebody, hey, leave me alone.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I don't know if that would have been the case, but that's just how I felt.
No, your instincts were spot on. Like, honestly, like, I feel like I really related more so to you than anybody else on the show because I feel like the way that you moved is exactly how I would have. Like, going through what you were going through with Scotty and then the JR, whatever you're doing out there, good luck to you, brother. But he showed his ass in that show.
Yeah.
And it was so funny to me how, like, his personality with the different girls and then him picking, what's her name? Sandy. Shout out to Sandy. She's so bomb. Him eventually picking Sandy and then the speech that he had when he chose her, it was just so disgusting to me. I'm sorry. Like no shade to him. Like, I'm not trying to be mean, but that's just my point of view. I'm a viewer, Yeah.
There was no, I will say, like, I remember standing there and there was like no depth to why he was choosing her
at all.
It was just like, you're fun and spicy.
Exactly.
I like you.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I wasn't.
And I was like, yes, Aria, thank God.
Yeah. And no, I wasn't. And what's really funny too is how editing, works and stuff. But I actually was the one that got to choose first. But they made it look like he chose first. So I chose Caleb first before.
I liked Caleb.
Yeah, and I just thought, I was like, he's not going to cross my boundaries.
Yeah.
And I honestly have like past experiences with men that have not been good. And
Right.
I'm sure a lot of women have, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think for me, I was like, I'm not trying to put myself in any type of where I'm going to feel uncomfortable. I'm going to try to be as comfortable as possible in this experience for 3 weeks with a stranger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like thinking about laying in bed with someone I don't know, like
No.
at all. And
No.
I'm not even like actually trying to date because I'm actually in like that. That was the thing that I couldn't get out of my head was like, even though we're broken up, I did not feel broken up.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
That's what I was going to ask too.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so, and then it's so funny because you have to say like, oh yeah, my ex. And I'm like.
That was like a thing. Yeah. That was definitely a thing we had to say. It was like they would correct us. They would correct us and be like, ex.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, Scotty. Like,
right.
like
my man.
that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But it's like, I think it is like, honestly, a psychological where you disconnect a little bit when you're able to say X instead of saying the person's name. It allows you, I think, to disconnect as much. And we're also not supposed to talk to each other throughout those 3 weeks. We're not supposed to text or call. And so I think that was
that helps the
thing.
experience, right?
I think
It makes it harder.
I think it would have maybe helped if everybody did it, right? But I think a lot of people were still talking to their significant others, which makes sense. It's hard, and you're also telling grown adults not to talk to their partners.
That was a problem Scotty and Zaina had.
Yeah, right. Yeah, with them, right. But so I think something I lacked was I already didn't have reassurance, and then I was feeling insecure, and then he wasn't texting me, but I still wasn't gonna go crazy on him and be like, "You're not texting me." Like I was like, "No, if he wants to go ahead and message me or to let me know, reassure me in any way, then he will." But he ended up doing it at the end. But I felt like, and I could be wrong, but I felt like it was after him and Zaino weren't good. That's when I was getting a text or a call.
Of course.
Could I have been wrong? Maybe. Like I don't know when that timing happened, but I just was like, this is the last week, and you're giving me a text. Like, you know what I mean?
I do want to talk a little bit more about the show, but I want to talk more about you like post the show.
Okay. Yeah.
So one more question about the show. I do want to ask about Caleb. I'm glad you brought him up because I thought he was a sweetheart. Obviously, he had a lot going on in his previous with his ex or previous relationship. But what was it about Caleb that made you feel more connected to him and choose him?
I honestly think it was just I was able to be like, because honestly we were only able to get 3 dates.
Yeah.
What I wanted, all I cared about was someone who was going to respect my boundaries. So I was like, okay, perfect. Yeah. Then the other thing I was like, oh, I think we can learn with each other because we're both on the same page. Like
exactly.
We weren't coming on to this show to be with anyone else. Like we came on the show to be with our partners. So I was like, oh, we can learn from each other. We can maybe I can talk to you about the things that I'm like not understanding with my partner and vice versa. Yeah. And I remember he said he chose me because I reminded him of his ex, which was Mariah. So I was like, okay, like we can grow in this way so we can be like, we came in there being like, we're going to be better for our partners. Yeah. And then as time went on, like I would say definitely like there was just, I felt like emotional maturity that I thought, who knows if it was real? You know what I'm saying? Like at the same time too, you don't know anyone in 3 weeks. And a lot of the times we're putting our best face on. Like you're not going to show the ugliest parts of you. You're not going to confine it because we're still really strangers. Yeah. Even if we did emotionally talk about things that.
And you're on TV. Like, let's be real. Exactly. Like, I'm not going to go up in there being like, oh yeah, what's up? Yeah, I'm a cheater. I do this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, none of that. You're going to say all the things that you're good at and you're going to talk about. And also, like, I would say one of the tasks that we had to do within the show was we had to talk about the things we didn't like about our partners. And so maybe, you're seeing that on, like, dang, Aria, all she's doing is talking shit about Scotty. Right. Like, it was because they wanted us to talk about the things we didn't like. Yeah. And so we both had to do that.
That helps build a connection with you and someone new. Yeah, so that makes sense too.
Yeah, and so I think
producers, hold on. Y'all know what y'all doing. Okay. See, that's why I needed to have this conversation with you because as a viewer now, I can be in the comments fighting everybody back and be like, you know what? Let the producers produce. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's like the other thing too is like something also that it was I was like fighting, I guess, is when the show came out and they're like, people are going off being like, oh, like, why did you say this at, there was like a scene and we were at the table and it was like, something I actually got asked about. I got asked a question, I don't know, by a producer, but all they showed was me answering it. But it looked like I was like rubbing the connection that I had with Caleb and Mariah's face. And that's not what I wanted to do at all. I was answering a question, but all it sees, And so then, a part of me is like, no, I want to defend myself. Like, I wasn't out here just saying that. But like at the same time, like this is a part of reality TV. So this is what I signed up for. And people are going to judge you and not have context to it.
I was
you
actually
just have to be okay with that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. Was there a moment that you probably thought that the viewers viewed you in a certain way that you want to kind of clear up? Was that the only moment, or was there more than that?
I would say there's 2 moments, and it always was with Mariah. Like I feel like I came off. Definitely the first encounter that I had with her, which was at the mixer. I feel like I was trying to throw out hints to her in a way without blasting her and Caleb's like what was going on behind scenes. And so what I was trying to do was be like, girl, like your man loves you, because I mean that's all he talked about. Like he really did truly love her. And like they're no longer together, but like during that time I wanted to tell her like stop holding on so tight. You're probably going to squeeze him out of your hands, you know? Like, and that was a way of like me trying to do that without blasting. I mean, I ended up blasting them at the reunion because I was like, fuck it. I'm not gonna see any of you guys again. So I was like, whatever, I don't care. But
you got in your bag, girl. It's cool.
It was just more like, I was like, girl, you're calling him every night. You're wanting to know what's going on, you know, and you're telling him not to do certain things because you're trying to make sure he's not, you know, you're trying to control things. And to be honest, when you try to hold on to so much control, a lot of the times people will run away from that because they feel like, you know, claustrophobic. Yeah. And
you're trying to reassure her, like, girl, he loves you. In a way,
but I think I definitely could have done it in a better way. Like, I felt like I didn't have, like, I could have had more empathy towards her because she was by herself. And I can't even imagine, like, how I would be by myself. Like, I'd probably be spiraling.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Also, on top of that, she's by herself with... She had no family there.
No.
I'm from Arizona. So we actually we're shooting in Arizona. So when I was done with like hanging out with, you know, doing filming, because I'd be so anxious or feel like I needed a support system, I would go over to my sister's house. Like, you know, and so no one got to have that. I did though. So like really thinking I should have had more empathy towards her situation. And I'm sure like, you know, all of us were insecure. So she's, you know, insecure. And we've talked about it. And she was like, you're a beautiful girl. You know, you're his type in some ways. And it made me feel insecure about it. And, you know, and I'm like, that's so understandable. But I want to let you know that I was never going in there trying to find a new man.
Right.
Like, I wasn't.
Right. So, I was given the ultimatum. Let's remember. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay. I love that. Okay. So aside from the show, I do want to talk about more so about you and what you were kind of like going through while filming and kind of just like, you know, looking back on everything that's happened since.
What, like my emotions or like,
yes.
What do you mean? Like what I was going through? Like,
okay. So like, I want to ask you, how did you protect your mental health while you were in the midst of shooting everything?
I journaled.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. So I have a gift that I do want to send you, and the gift is a journal.
Oh,
that's so funny.
So nice.
Yeah,
I love journaling. That's
me
that's
too.
what I do. But I would say if anyone's going to do reality TV, like at all, like anybody at all, I would say journal because I feel like it is such a mental, like honestly fuckery. Like when you're trying
I journal
to,
too.
When you're trying to like, if your show comes out way later and then you're like, did I do that? Like, I don't remember that. Like, or like, and it's just nice so you can go back and be like, what was going on through? Oh, I remember.
Wow.
Like, or this is, or just looking back and being like, oh my gosh, you've grown so much from this. So I journaled a lot because I couldn't talk. Like there were sometimes like we'd be sequestered so we can't talk to anyone. And I'm not gonna lie, I had a panic attack and I never had one before. Like I had a panic attack, I think the third day of me being like on set, and it was because it was after the mixer, and I was like, oh my god, I'm not gonna see him after this, like I can't. And that was terrible. Like I was like, I hated that we ended in that way. I feel like, you know, now I'm unsure. I'm like, if he's doing that, I was so unsure. I was like, if he's doing that in front of me and doesn't think anything's wrong, what the fuck is he gonna do like, behind the scenes? And I was getting in my head being like, oh, there's no cameras in the bedroom, like you know, I was just getting so in my head to a point where I was just like, okay, girl, USA, you need, and I ended up like having a producer like calm me down. But no, I think during that process, I journaled a lot. I did call my support systems, which is my brother that was on the show. Like, he's definitely like my ride or die. And I called him and would ask him how to navigate certain things, or because the thing that I think is really hard about this show is it brings out your insecurities, but on top of that, you're united. So when you are in a partnership, you want to make sure you're making the other person look good. That's usually what you want to do, is because you want to defend your partner, but it gets to points where you start to like, you know, doubt. Where it's like, should I be defending? I'm scared to be embarrassed. Should I, you know, stand on what I'm saying or doing, but maybe not talk too much crap about my, you know, my ex-partner, but like, I'm not really sure how he's acting. So I don't want to defend him. And then a year later, and then I'm getting
make me look crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's very hard to be in that type of situation and you're still trying to make your partner look good. But at the same time, you're like, are they doing that for me? Because it doesn't seem like they're considering me. So it was very crazy in that sense.
Damn. Girl, I don't know what I would do in that situation, because I've always kind of like been interested in maybe going on like a dating show before I got with my man. Thank God. But I just don't know I can't imagine watching myself on a show for like a whole season, going through real emotions, real things, and having to like swallow what I projected onto or outward from myself, and being okay with that. And then having other people have their opinions and their comments or whatever. And I also wanted to ask you that too. Like, was there like certain comments or maybe like perceptions that other people had of you that you kind of want to just be like, look, this is absolutely wrong, or anything that bothered you that you saw about yourself that you kind of want to also clear up?
I think, I would say I did get a lot of love, but I think honestly, I think, I also got some hate too. And, I remember, because I'm an aesthetic nurse, like that's what I do full time. And I remember they were like, oh, nurses are mean girls, like, and so, but I feel like I needed to defend myself that I'm not a mean girl. Like,
Right.
I felt sure in myself that I I have a good support system. I have really good friends. I know how I am to people and how much I pour into people, that I wasn't doubting that, I had like those good qualities at all when that was stated to me. So it wasn't like I felt like I had to defend myself. I think what honestly I learned from viewing just TV in general is no one is going to be happy about, like, there's always going to be something that's critiqued. So it doesn't matter if you were good. Like, say, like, you got a good edit is, like, what people would call it. And with that good edit, you're, like, boring. Then people are talking about how boring you are.
Exactly.
So it's just, like, someone
I'd rather them talk than not talk.
That's what I'm saying. So I just feel like someone's always going to say something.
Yeah.
So I feel like you should just be really sure about where you're at and who you are.
Yeah.
And so I think at the time that I did this show, I think I'm more sure of myself now, but before, when I did the show, like, if I did that type of show like 4 years ago, I would have been a hot mess, because I would have been, considering every single opinion. And I just wasn't in that place anymore. I was just like, I know who I am. Not everyone's going to like me. And that is something I'm still learning, because I think I'm very much so, like, I think I would say, like, I'm really good at connecting with people, and I think something I had to learn is, like, not everyone's gonna like you, and that's okay.
Yep.
You're not a bad person. You're not. Everybody got different tastes.
Exactly.
And so, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. You definitely. I had nothing but nice things to say about you, for sure. If I
have to say that right now, though.
No, I was about to say, if I did have something naughty to say, I say it, girl.
Okay, good. Yeah,
No,
like
I would for sure. But I also want to ask you too, like, how is dating right now for you?
So I'm not dating right now, but I did date a little bit in the year. But I feel like right now, because I just moved to, like, Los Angeles, and I just moved from San Francisco, I kind of just wanted to, like,
Did you go to San Francisco after Arizona?
So yeah, I lived in Arizona, and then Scotty was back and forth from San Francisco and LA, but he worked in tech, so he was really, like, home base with San Francisco. Yeah. So I ended up moving to San Francisco after I graduated nursing school, and so then that's when we lived in the same city.
Right.
We didn't live with each other at the time, but we lived in the same city.
Yeah.
And so I was there for 4 years, and then I was there for a year after.
And you guys were planning to live together.
Yeah, and we ended up doing it.
Okay.
And that obviously doesn't fix anything if you still have the problems.
Yeah.
Now you're just staring at the problems. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and so then after that, and after we broke up, I was like, I want something different. Like, I don't want to be in San Francisco. I was here, I moved here for a reason, which was my partner at the time. And now is this, I always wanted to live in LA, so I was like, I'm gonna fucking do it. So then I ended up, moving here. Now it's been 4 months. I moved in September, and so that is, like, not even on my mind right now. Like, dating is not on my mind. Like, I was like, okay, I moved.
Keep
here.
it off your mind, girl.
I know everybody's saying that. Everybody's, like, scaring me, but
it's bad.
Yeah, everybody's saying it's bad, but it's, like, not on my mind at all, because I was just like, I'm really just trying to build community here. Yeah. Like, that's really what I'm trying to do, because I don't know a bunch of people. Like, I'm still, like, meeting people and, making friendships, but honestly, all of my close friends, they all live in different places, so we all have to, like, make trips or visit each other to do it, so.
Yeah. So you like LA so far?
So far,
so
I will
good.
say, like, I've met the, like, what people call it, like, oh, you're gonna meet the fake people or, like, whatever, and yeah, like, but you don't want to, like, if you're feeling, not whole in it, or your energy is feeling off within an environment, just remove yourself from the environment. So that's what I've done. Like, if I'm ever feeling off or don't feel like the energy is genuine, I'm like, I remove myself, because I'm in just a phase of my life where I'm being intentional about everything I'm doing, which is where I'm going, like where I'm placing myself environmental wise, who I'm like associating with, who I bring in my life, romantically, friendships, like all of it with intention. So I feel like if I'm gonna be by myself, like sometimes because of those environments are not matching what I need, then that's like, so be it. Like that's just where I'm at.
I love that. I love that. Oh, you're so strong. You're just as strong-willed or as like very grounded in who you are on the show as you are in person.
Oh,
I do want to say that, like, she is a super sweet. But if you are I could tell, like, someone who is not secure in themselves, if they're around you, they can feel insecure in their own right, because you are very secure and you're very confident, and I love that energy. Like, I always tell girls, like, I'm like, look, if you're gonna hang with me, you got to be secure in yourself, because I don't do the jealousy, envy, all of that stuff. So I love that energy from you, for sure.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I really do.
Yes,
because it wasn't always like that. And now I'm glad I've come to myself of like where I'm at, and like, so I really appreciate that comment.
I love that. Okay, so if you were looking for a man, what is your like top 5 absolute must-have non-negotiables in your man?
Non-negotiables: someone who's secure in themselves, someone who doesn't take themselves so seriously.
Okay.
Like, I think it's really important to be able to laugh at yourself. Like, if you take every single... I'm also sarcastic as fuck. Like, whoever dates me, like, we have to be able to, like, shoot the shits, I feel like. And if you can't, like, you're getting, like, upset, like, I'm not gonna, like, I'm not out here like teasing my man every day, but like just being able to have that back and forth is important to me. So someone, if they take themselves too seriously, it's no fun. I would say, being funny, definitely a top for me. Yeah. And then on top of that, I would just say, like, emotional intelligence is just like really important to be able to have deeper conversations, to be able to be self-aware, of where they're at emotionally, and able to be with no pride, to talk about their insecurities. And to be honest, as I'm like getting older, I'm realizing a lot of men haven't tapped into their like being more self-aware of like their triggers, or because I think we all have triggers, but if you're not able to talk about that, and instead of talking about it, you're reacting, or you're being petty because you can't communicate, like that's really important.
It is.
And last one, finances isn't all, but I would say stable. Like, it's important to have somebody who wants to, like, is able to lead, and I feel like financial stability is part of that.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
I'm not trying to...
No, it's not Build a Bear workshop over here. Like, sorry.
I don't want to build a bear.
Yeah, I don't want to. I used to always say, like, I want my furniture to come fully equipped, fully.
And if you need like a couple kinks, a little,
a little tight.
With that.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But not a whole, like, it's a whole mess I gotta pick up. I don't want to do that.
No.
But I will. Like, I am definitely someone who is all in. And so I just need that just like reciprocated, honestly.
And Taurus are very loyal people. Very, very loyal. You guys, I feel like...
What's your sign?
So I'm Gemini, Cancer, cusp.
Okay. Okay.
So, and I'm a Cancer moon, Leo rising.
Okay.
So, yeah, I do have a lot of water and earth in my chart, for sure. But I'm, like, also just a big air sign, too.
Yeah, okay.
But I feel like all of my Taurus homegirls make the best girlfriends. But y'all don't play.
Yeah, like, I feel like, we're very loyal, but also the other thing, too, is, like, they'll talk about us being stubborn, and I will say I am stubborn. Like, I kind of have, like, my way, and I it's not that I won't change it, I just need an explanation, and sometimes people don't like to explain. They're like, just trust it, and I'm like, well, like, when does the flow start? And then the flow can happen. Like, I need to know, And so that's just kind of how I am, and that sometimes can be very annoying for people, but it takes me time to be able to trust that, you got it in all aspects, because I feel like I've had it, and just in my life growing up, I've had to really just depend on myself. And I have a big family, but like, I have had to depend on myself, like, even with that. So it's hard to then navigate a relationship and be like, okay, I'm going to just fully let you control whatever's going on and not ask questions. Like, that's just how I am. Yeah. And hopefully I will outgrow that, but I just have to be in a place where I have emotional safety.
Yeah. Exactly. You know what's crazy? I had like this list of questions that I'm like, oh, I want to ask her this, I want to ask her that. But you just naturally kind of already
talk about it.
Yeah. In a good way, though, because most of my questions that I wrote down were about your growth from the show, or what have you seen from then that you can change now. And I feel like you truly are evolving into like the woman, whoever you think you are, girl, you her.
Yeah, I appreciate
that. And I'm not trying to eat your ass and suck your dick, but I'm just being real.
Yeah.
I'm just being very honest. Like, all my friends will tell you I'm a girl's girl, so I'm very like upfront with it. But I love that about women, because I feel like a lot of us, especially like before we hit like the full on maturity age or level, or before we're married, before we have kids and all of that stuff, we still feel like we have a lot to learn from. We go through different experiences, and especially dating different men, we have to kind of find ourselves. But I think it's very, very powerful when a woman has found herself and become whole, has become grounded and very sure of who she is before finding love, before finding her soulmate, her husband, before having kids. Because I have a big thing of, when I have kids, I want to be as prepared as I possibly can, because I'm going to be teaching an adult, like raising another human being to being a grown up in this world. And, you know, like if I had a daughter, I would want her to be respectful and modest and, you know, sure of herself and all these different things, healthy, spiritual, whatever. So I think women, you know, we are the driving force to that, because we have to raise kids. Obviously, men, they have to raise them too, because there's things that we can't teach as a man. Yeah. But I do feel like, you know, as a mom, that's like really important. Yeah. Do you want kids?
I do.
How many do you want?
I not too sure, you know, but I definitely want at least 2. Like, yeah, for sure.
Same.
Yeah.
I used to be like, at one point, I didn't want kids anymore.
Really?
Yeah. I stopped wanting kids.
Why?
I feel like, one, the world is crazy. And I started to.
It's scary. Yeah,
it's scary.
like right now.
Yeah. And I don't know what's going to happen in the future. So I don't know. Like, they're trying to exit out education, and, you know, there's AI that's taking a lot of jobs, and all these things that are happening, which could be great, but I don't know what's going to happen. So I don't want to bring someone into this world and I'm not sure of how to even guide them to their future as of right now, you know?
That's real.
But since I've been my boyfriend,
I love this.
Girl, I'm in love. But now, like, he's just like, I want kids. And, like, you know, so now I'm kind of more open to the idea. Yeah. But I definitely tell him, like, you know, this is how it needs to be, you know, in order to have that. But, yeah, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like you seem like you'd be a good mom, but you can tell me more about that. Like, how would you see yourself as, like, a mom and a wife in love and a home?
Honestly, that's like, I would say that, like, I think because of how I grew up, like, I never really saw a healthy relationship. So there was just, like, certain things, like the way that my parents used to argue, I used to think that was normal.
Did you grow up with your mom and dad?
I did. I grew up with both of them. And I remember just being like, dang, like, this is what marriage is? I don't know if I want that. Like, I was like, they are always arguing. Like, and so I used to think that was normal. And then once I got, you know, out of the house, you know, started seeing other people's relationships, and I was like, oh, that isn't normal. That isn't, you know, it just looks so chaotic. And I was just like, I was like, I want my nervous system to be calm when I'm with a partner, you know, and not anxious and all these things. And so I definitely feel like I didn't really think about that when I was younger because of what I saw. But then now, as I'm, you know, as a woman and, you know, getting older and things like that, I definitely want to be a mom. I definitely want to get married. I just know that everything will align in the way it needs to align. I'm not going to put pressure on it. I think, you know, I think it's awesome now that we're in a society where women are not like, okay, by 30, you need everything figured out. Like, I feel like now everybody's like, okay, 30's young.
30 is young.
Yeah. And, like, I'm 27, and so turning 28 this year. And, like, I'm not in a rush to, like, figure everything out because there's a time crush on it. And also, like, seeing, you know, navigating being in, you know, environments where, you know, everybody's in different seasons. Like, I'm a twin. And
really?
Yeah, I'm a twin. And,
we're
fraternal.
Okay.
So we don't look the same. But like, she's in a different life place right now. She's about to get married this year, but I'm so happy for her. And I think it's so awesome to see, you know, like a sibling or just like my twin in a different life phase, but so happy and so sure. Like, I remember when she was with him, like when she was like, had no doubts. And I just was like, no doubts. Like, I've always had doubts. Like,
you're like,
every relationship I've ever had, I've always had some type of doubt. And so, you know, she's like, yeah, early on, maybe I wasn't sure. But she was like, after we had those hard conversations, and she was like, I was so sure about this person because this person makes me feel so secure. And so I think it's good that I'm able to see that, because I'm like, okay, this is what this should be like. And this is what it should feel like. And her nervous system is so calm. And so, you know, and so I'm grateful to see all these different seasons around me. And I know my turn will come. I'm just not, you know, rushing for it. Yeah.
And you don't have to, girl. You are a baby.
Yeah.
I'll be 33 this summer. And I feel like I'm turning 25.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I was like, yeah, being in your 30s, I think is honestly, you're just more secure in yourself. So you can actually live with no doubt. Like, you know, like I feel like you can make actions without having to doubt every decision you're going to make because you know yourself. Yeah. And I think that to me, that's a better season of life than how nervous I was, like early 20s, not sure. And I feel like, honestly, what I want to do is just cultivate and make sure that I'm so sure of myself. I put in so much love that what I attract is only that sees that. Like the people that, you know, don't even give that, won't even try to interact because they're like, dang, like she's not gonna let me play games.
Yeah.
You know
like
I mean?
she's not. I could tell she's not going for that for like a mile away.
Yeah,
I love that. You already have it. You do for sure. You have a great aura, great energy.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
that's the best compliment.
Yeah,
aura. I like that.
No, you do, and I feel like. And I know I just met you, but I just could see it. Like, I could see you being with a nice man. Yeah. Not so argumentative, very calm like you, but willing to have tough conversations.
The thing is, I will say, and anybody who's a Taurus will probably agree with this, I am calm. But sometimes if you get me riled up, like I will, you know, I can get riled up.
I seen it.
Oh, yeah. So that's the thing is, like, I am a calm, but I want someone who can like balance each other, you know, in a way where
I'm not get you in that space,
not get me in that space, because it's either I'm one or the other. One, I'm like, you know, I'm quiet, nothing, and you know, I'm just listening to what is going on. But if I feel like this person's like riling me up, then I'm going to, you know, speak my mind, because I don't like being played in my face and things like that. So but I thank you for saying poised and calm, but I was like, I'm not always calm.
Right.
I'm working on it, though.
I don't know. I just feel like you're just, I don't know, you're just giving me like, yes, like I feel it. Before we get to the end, I do want to ask you, what do you have going on right now? Like, what are some of things that you have like coming for us? Like whether it's new job opportunities or whatever you have going on in your personal life.
Honestly, like I've been, you know, like really like digging into my aesthetic nursing. Like I've been really doing that now because I just moved to LA. So I've been doing that.
I'm sorry, this is gonna sound like a stupid question.
Like, what is aesthetic nursing?
Please.
That's okay. It's not a stupid question. It's where you do like injectables, like filler, Botox, facials. Yeah, we could talk later. And so I do those, and I do laser facials. No one believes me, but my skin used to be like very bad. And so I think for me, I just love making people feel good. So I've been doing that. Been doing social media on the side. I'm open to opportunities. Like, you know, I've gotten asked if I want to do like, you know, the challenge or things like that. And I'm definitely open. Like I'm open to it. I'm not dating right now. So, you know, I'm open to that too. If it's, you know, just aligns with where my life is at, but I'm not like searching for it, like if that makes sense. Like I'm kind of just like letting whatever comes to me come to me. But that's really what I have going on, and just like navigating a new city.
Oh, girl, aesthetic nursing is going to be great for you here.
Oh, yeah, no, it's been great. It's been great, and I've already been building my clientele here, so it's been good.
Right. Yeah. Okay, well, let's not tell my boyfriend, but I'm going to come see
you. Yeah. No, I would love it.
He won't even notice. He get on my nerves, because I've
Men
had...
don't notice
They
it.
don't.
I've gotten my lips done.
Me too.
And no one noticed, but it's more of like, for me, you know, this is what I wanted to do.
This is how I feel more comfortable, more confident. Yeah. I got mine like over a year ago, so I was due to get it again, but I was like, oh babe, like, you know, I'm gonna go get, And I showed him some pictures, and he's just like, "Why you gotta get it?" Like, I was like, "Babe, that's the first day. Like, let the beat build."
Yeah, 2 weeks. It takes 2 weeks to settle all the way. Yeah.
Yes, but I'm gonna call you. Just don't tell
Okay.
me.
Yeah. I won't say anything. I've dealt with all of it. I've dealt with women being like, "Hey, can you just can I pay this in cash?" And I'm like, "Okay, girl." Like I was like, it's not that big of a deal, but do whatever you gotta do.
Exactly. Yeah. Are you at a studio in LA right now?
I'm in I'm in a clinic. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm in Beverly Hills and West Hollywood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yes. Y'all hit her up.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Please do. Oh, this is so nice. I do want to bring it to a close. But before we do, y'all can go ahead and use code exactly for Dress Like This and some more on 518 Studios. Follow them on Instagram. This is a great brand. I love this dress so much.
It's very cute. And if they have other colors, I'm like trying to copy.
No, they do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you a code.
Okay.
I'm gonna get you a code. It's my homegirl's brand, and she's like just
it.
starting. Very, very, very dope. She's also a stylist, so she's really good and prominent in fashion. She has dresses. She has trousers. She has bags. Super, super cute. Super chic. Like new, sexy. Like I love the vibes.
Yeah, I love that.
Yes, but use code exactly with 3 Ys to get 10% off. Period. I got y'all to hook up because her stuff is snapping. But I'm gonna try to get you some stuff and send it to you.
No, I love that. I had such a good time. I love talking to you. I love when I go onto any type of platform and I feel just genuinely comfortable. Like don't feel like it's an interview. I feel like I'm just you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I enjoyed this.
Good. I'm glad you did. I'm so happy you came once again.
Yeah.
Yes. But yes, guys, thank you so much. Tune in to the next episode. I have some great guests coming to you this season. I love that we're starting it off with my girl. Go ahead and tap in. If you haven't watched, I don't know why you wouldn't have, but go ahead and follow and watch The Ultimatum Season 3 if you haven't already. Season 4 is coming out soon. There's no release date, but if you haven't and you want to watch Season 4, go ahead and watch her Season 3. It was probably top 3, period. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.